Well, hello, friends. I am Bishop Andy Lewter, and I want to welcome you to Church Talk Live. This is a weekly internet television program where I take an opportunity to speak with individuals from our community, our church world, political scene, to see the wonderful things that are going on in the lives of people. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, as I have been, that this program is on the air. We'll be here every Tuesday at 2:30 in the afternoon as a part of Church Talk Live. I am your host and your moderator, Andy Lewter, and I want to thank you so very, very much for joining us today. And it's my hope and my prayer that either something said and or done shall prove to be of benefit to you as you make ready to face your untried tomorrow. Friends, today I have a very special guest to start this series of programming. Her name is Yashika Stewart. Yes, sir. And she is one of the emerging powerful personalities of our community, and we're so happy to have you. Turn to the camera and say hello to those who are sharing with us today.
Hi, guys, and thank you so much for inviting me. My God. Thank you for having me here. So hello, guys. I hope that you'll support this amazing initiative that you're doing here, and I hope you'll tune in with him.
Well, one of the reasons that we are doing this is because we wanted to demonstrate, we wanted to showcase what some of our benefits are and some of our capabilities are. We have just invested time, energy, and even some finance into the construct of our television studio, and we wanted to showcase this every week to let people know that this resource is in their community. Absolutely. You don't have to go all the way to New York City. You don't have to go to Hollywood. You don't have to go to ABC, CBS, MSNBC, CNN, or even the Fox network. But you can come to a local facility right here on Long Island in Amityville and take advantage of what you see. We have a multitude of sets, virtual sets, that we can share with you, and we're hoping that you would come in, talk to us about what it is that you want to do, your goals, your ambitions, your objectives, and let us work with you to put your face, message, and even ministry in touch with the people of the internet. So Stewart, we want to talk to you, and we've got about 25 minutes left, but we want to talk about several things. And I want to begin with who Sister Stewart is. Now, you have, and one of the reasons, and I'm being selfish here, one of the reasons that we invited you to come on as the first guest of Church Talk Live is because in a very small period of time, you have developed one of the largest followings and audiences of our internet radio station. Wow. So what better person to talk to than the person who is doing this thing and is blowing up the station. So I want to talk about, where is your native home? Give us a bit of your biography growing up, those things that are important to you and that you want the audience to know.
Okay, well, as you know, I am Yashika My'Chelle Stewart, born and raised in WYANDANCH.
Come on, a WYANDANCH girl.
A WYANDANCH girl, true to form, roots. And my grandparents raised up, my mother, my aunts all raised up in WYANDANCH. My grandmother was very heavy in the community. My grandfather, Henry Stewart, was actually on the Board of Education. My mom, before she passed last year, actually was very active. She did 30 plus years in WYANDANCH School District. My grandmother retired from WYANDANCH School District. So WYANDANCH is absolutely me, and I am them. So I am a resident. I'm a native. Shout out to WYANDANCH. Okay. I was like,
go right on.
As far as influence, I actually was raised up in Holy Trinity Baptist Church right here in Amityville.
Yes.
My grandmother was a songbird. My grandfather was a deacon at Holy Trinity. And for the past year, I've been an active member of Destiny House Christian Center in Freeport.
Yes.
Under Dr. Pepper Martin. And that's been an absolute blessing. I'm an only child. Mm-hmm. I am a mother to an amazing 19-year-old who is attending Farmingdale now. He wants to be a child psychologist. He's tapped into people. He got bit by the bug.
Great.
He got bit by the bug. It was passed down. We love people, and it is our mission. One thing that has always been pushed upon me growing up is always to take care of God's people. We just love to help however we can. And so for me, when God started giving me vision for my nonprofit organization, Beautifully Unique Incorporated, when he started giving me vision for the inspirational brand that I have, Inspire by Shika My'Chelle, and then now this platform, the whole focus was about his people. How can I use my voice to somehow affect his people in a positive manner? So that's all that I've been doing. I didn't realize that the views were as I really try to stay away from that. I'm grateful for everybody that tunes in every week. I thank God for you guys, but I try to stay away from the viewers.
Okay.
And try to focus just on the message. The vision that he gives me week after week, the people he sends me to contact.
Sure.
I try to stay focused on that, doing the work, and I believe that the rest will come.
Okay. All right. Now, Sister Stewart, one of the things that I want to talk to you about is there is a general assumption that people have that to be active in ministry, to be impactful and even effective, that you have to wear a title, that you have to be called something.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily the case as it relates to you. However, you are extremely active. So I want you to talk to our audience about how do you find the means to be productive without necessarily wearing the celebrity tags and titles that so many other people do.
I think for me, I try to remain grounded. I keep people around me that, one, know me, and two, that protect me from the hype. I've never been caught up in titles. I just believe in doing the work. I would always say to people, when we do events, even through my nonprofit organization, things that are community based, I shy away from the camera. I very rarely take pictures when we've done Thanksgiving, when we've done Christmas, giving toys to families in need. I never take pictures of those things because I believe that it is not about me. It's really about those people. And when you genuinely just believe in doing the work, you know, all those other things follow. It's not about a title.
Okay.
It's really not about title. It's about your integrity, how you operate, how you are, because there are a lot of people that are in the church that have titles, but they're not living up to those titles. There are a lot of people that are in the church that once they leave on a Sunday, they're a completely different person. So for me, it's, who are you after you leave the church?
After you leave the church.
After you leave the church, who are you? Are you that same person? Do you stop on the street? Do you pour into people without expecting anything in return? Who are you really? So it's less about titles and more just about doing the work and being a kingdom builder and really trying to live that life.
Now, you talked about a bit about your nonprofit organization. And I want you to kind of expand upon that because oftentimes we think that we need to have a large board, multiple people involved, but you've really kind of put this together. So talk to us about a bit about the nonprofit, your goals and objectives, and what you're trying to accomplish with that organization. Friends, we greatly apologize. We've had some technical difficulties, kind of working out some of the bugs that are going on here. And I thank you for your patience. And if you've been standing by, thank you for not tuning away. This is Andy Lewter. This is Church Talk Live. My guest today is Sister Stewart. And we were talking about nonprofit organizations. And you have put together a nonprofit organization. You are a native of WYANDANCH. Having grown up in Amityville, you know, those were not always the best relationships. Amityville and WYANDANCH. We were afraid to be caught in WYANDANCH after dark and vice versa. But so much of that has changed. And you have this tremendous nonprofit organization. So talk to us about that nonprofit organization and some of the things that you are attempting to accomplish with it.
Okay, our 501c3 is Beautifully Unique Incorporated. We started in 2013. God gave me the vision for it. I've never been to college. I had no experience. I'm like, Lord, what are we doing here? I have no idea how to do this. And because I didn't know, I contacted an organization that did know how to actually take the steps to form the 501c3, because it was important for me to not just do it, but to do it right. I didn't want to jump out there and not do it right. So we did all of the steps to get incorporated. We are a 501c3 as of 2014, August of 2014. And one thing that we've been very heavy in the community and just being communities based and youth based. What we love is to pour into. So for me, it hasn't just been about Beautifully Unique Inc. being on the banner. It's about how can we support other people, other entities that are already in place, other organizations that are having events or what have you. So one thing, Beautifully Unique, for the last year, we've been a little quiet as I was grieving my mom. She passed last March. So we've been a little quiet, but we're getting back in there. One thing that we're starting this June, we're hoping to give a scholarship to a child in WYANDANCH in my mom's honor.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
Because it's very important for me to keep her legacy alive. She loved her community and the youth, especially in the community. She worked in the life skills program. So it's important for me to continue to pour into WYANDANCH and do so in her honor as well and keep her alive. But through Beautifully Unique, we've also partnered up with Assemblywoman Kimberly Jean-Pierre.
Yes, yeah, one of my favorite people, yes.
Mine too. And she is she's an amazing person, and she really is for the people, and that's one thing I love about her. So whenever she calls, I'm there. But we've partnered up and we've helped to sponsor events like her Trunk or Treat. We just sponsored her Women of Distinction. We were one of the sponsors for that. School supply drives, we've done that. We've also done her Easter egg hunt.
Excellent.
We've actually been partnered up with that. Every year it's very important for our organization, who is non-funded. We're a non-funded organization. 9 times out of 10, I'm in my bank account. And we do have people that believe in the vision, so they pour in, which is a blessing. But 9 times out of 10, when you see something under the Beautifully Unique Inc. umbrella, it is 9 times out of 10 coming out of my personal
That's
funds.
such a commitment, such an investment.
I believe in the vision that God gave me, and I know that in due season I'm going to be able to reap what I've planted in the ground. So it's not about the money, it's about doing the work. And when you truly believe in the vision that he's given you and these people that life is affecting, you want to do your part. I'm not well off, but things like Christmas, when we partnered up with Toys for Tots, I remember the very first year that we did it, I undershot how many toys we needed. And so many families had contacted us that my best friend and I and my mom were in the store with our own money purchasing, because I refused for a child to go without. My son doesn't know what it's like to wake up on Christmas morning and not to have anything.
Okay.
So it's not about the gifts, but when kids are already having a difficult time, it's important for them to know that, there's someone else out there. I come from it takes a village to raise a child. Sure. My grandmother always embedded that in us.
Great.
So.
Listen, this is Bishop Andy C. Lewter, and this is our inaugural production of Church Talk Live. And so we're still kind of working out some of the kinks and kind of doing some of the things that we need to do. I want to kind of let the people in our media booth know that we need to select the record button at the bottom of the screen so that we can capture all that is going on, so that in post-production we can go back and take a look at all the wonderful things that we've been talking about and preserve them for the future. So again, I am Bishop Andy C. Lewter, and this is Church Talk Live, a weekly television program sponsored right here on Long Island in a local facility. One of the reasons we do this is to let you know that you don't have to go all the way to New York City or some other place to have a quality production done. There is a facility right here on Long Island, Church Talk Radio, Church Talk TV. We're located at 2 Monroe Street, right here in Amityville, New York. You can call us at area code 631-842-7091. We'd be more than happy to talk to you about your goals, your objectives, and what it is that you want to do in this particular area. And so we're delighted to have this facility, and we are equally anxious to make this facility available to you. Now, Sister Stewart, we got to tackle the obvious elephant in the room, and that is the difficulty, the innate difficulty that's attached to women trying to do anything positive and productive. One of the books that I wrote not too terribly long ago had to do with women in ministry. And last year, we saw a record number of women being sent to Washington, D.C. We're seeing more and more women doing things like you're doing in the community. So talk to us about the unique challenges that's associated with being a woman and doing that which you have been called to do.
I think sometimes you're not necessarily taken seriously as a woman. Especially those that have those old traditional ways of thinking that, you know, we're just supposed to be in the home, taking care of the children. And that has changed. That has changed. We are still moms, but we have businesses. We are wives. You know, we're raising amazing kids. But we're active in the community. We're active in the churches. You know, it's no more, you know, just sitting at home and waiting for your husband to make moves. We're making moves.
Yes.
And it's not to make the men any lesser. It's just God is calling us to mention there are a bunch of people out there that need healing. And they are in need of something that only we can bring. And that's not to take away from the awesomeness that is the men in ministry.
Sure.
But for myself, I've been blessed enough to serve up under an amazing pastor like Dr. Pepper Martin. And I've been in contact with the amazing Margarita Story,
yes.
Reverend Margarita Story, who has been a blessing to my organization and to my life. So for me, I'm under great covering, I can say. They've paved a way because they're not just women that are preachers and that are teachers, but they actually live the life in which they're speaking about. So it makes it a little less difficult for someone like me to come in and fulfill my purpose.
Sure.
As well.
Listen, it is obvious and apparent. Listen, friends, it is obvious and apparent that we could spend the next several minutes, probably even the next couple of hours, actually doing this. But the program that actually appears right after the taping of this program is your program.
Yes,
so if I continue to talk, I am encroaching upon your time. And so I'm going to ask that you would come back, that you would make a commitment to come back. I want to continue this conversation and discuss some other things. Friends, I am Bishop Andy C. Lewter. You're watching Church Talk Live. My guest today is Sister Yashika Stewart, and we've had a preliminary conversation. We're going to have another conversation in the not too distant future. Again, we want to let you know that this facility that you're watching, that you're looking at, is available locally right here in Amityville. And so many people assume that when they want to do this kind of production, they have to go to New York City, they have to go to Queens, they have to visit one of the 5 boroughs. But we have made the investment, the time, the energy, the resources, the equipment, so that you can literally come around the corner and take advantage of what we have here. Please call us at 631-842-7091. Every Tuesday from 2:30 to 3, not to step on the time of Sister Stewart, we will be here with our weekly Church Talk Live. Until next week, please know God loves you, we love you, and we look forward to seeing you real soon.